Now, let's face it, alcohol is a drug, and it's not just a drug, it's a highly addictive drug that's extremely poisonous, and neat of pint of it will actually kill you, and it's doing absolutely nothing for anybody. They are the facts. But if I was to just list those facts and give you a bunch of statistics and a bunch of reasons why people stop drinking, would that really help you? Well, yeah, I'm sure it would probably give you a little bit of inspiration or a little bit of help, but what I'm going to do for you in this video is I am going to break down the shift that needs to happen, the warning sign that you need to see to make stopping easy. Because when I tell you that stopping drinking was effortless for me, it was just like an enjoyable experience that I no longer want to drink, despite 10 years of pain, despite 10 years of failed attempts, you'd probably think this guy's crazy. Like, who even is this guy?
Who the fuck is that guy?
But that is the case. That is my experience. I don't want to drink. I am done with alcohol despite a 10-year battle, despite calling myself an alcoholic, going to meetings, trying willpower thousands of times, hundreds, thousands, whatever it was. I still found stopping effortless. And what I'm going to do for you in this video is I want to explain the difference between focusing on the negatives to doing what I do. Because, you probably already know like the way that alcohol is damaging your body and the way that it's affecting your relationship with your partner or your relationship with yourself. And you know that it's affecting all of these different things. You know that, right? We're not stupid. We can see where alcohol is impacting our lives. But what I want to do for you is I want to show you a different way to do things. I want to show you a more positive, a more optimistic way to do things. So you need to watch this video. It is going to blow you away. Now, just before we get into the video, guys, if you actually want my personal help stopping drinking, you want to go through the Sober Clear program and you want to do it in a positive, optimistic way, which relies on reframing the way you view alcohol and then doing coaching where we focus on the future instead of the past and that kind of stuff, head over to soberclear.com. There's a few videos to watch on the website. There's a bunch of reviews. Then you can book a call and we can see if the program may be good for you. Now, in my life, when I was trying to stop drinking, I knew that alcohol was the root cause of so many of my problems. Like, I'm not denying it. I knew that for a fact. And I know that that's not everybody's situation. I know a lot of people out there, alcohol didn't do the same kind of damage that it did to me. Like, I've hit rock bottom many times, but I've also had times where things were going well and I was drinking, right? It's been very up and down. Now, I know that a lot of people that I speak to that are interested in joining the program or people that leave comments down below, your drinking patterns may be different, right? You might drink 5 or 6 drinks a night. You might drink heavily. Different people do different things. But the point is that if you're watching this video, if you've been watching this channel, if you understand alcohol the way that I explain it, is we know that alcohol does nothing for us. And if anything, it just exacerbates problems. And I knew that that was happening in my life. There was no denying it. I wasn't BSing myself. Like, I knew. I've written in a journal, hundreds and hundreds of times where I was saying, if I remove the alcohol, everything in my life would get better. I knew that for a fact. But the thing is I have told myself this thousands of times, even when I was drinking, and I was still stuck in the cycle, right? I was still stuck in the cycle of drinking more than I wanted to, attempting to stop, using willpower, lasting a month, 6 months, a few days, a few weeks, boom, straight back into the cycle. And I've done that hundreds, if not thousands of times. It's happened to me just infinite amount of times. It just happened all the time. Now, things did change. Things definitely changed because what I actually did is the pain that alcohol caused me was enough to start looking for solutions, right? I knew that I had to find a way out of it, but just the pain alone wasn't enough to get me to stop. What I had to do was something completely different. And this is not something that I see anybody else out there talking about. I don't see people talking about it in meetings or on other YouTube channels, but I see people applying it. I see people applying it all the time. I've seen hundreds of drinkers that have applied what I'm going to share with you, and the results that they've been getting are amazing. The people in the Sober Clear program do it, but I've seen people that do it on their own as well. I'm not saying the Sober Clear program's for everybody. And what I'm talking about is when we realize that we have goals, we have ambitions, we have things that we want to do in life, when we actually know that there are gifts that we've got to give, that there are messages that we've got to share with people, there are books that we've got to write, there are people that we want to help, there are products, there are ideas, there are ways that we want to impact the world. When we start focusing on that side of things and we see that alcohol does not fit into that equation, that's when things start getting exciting because now we know that the pain is there, right? We know that alcohol is causing pain. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that. We're not with our head in the sand. We know that alcohol is causing us pain. But what we can start doing is we can start thinking about the future. Right? It's why I always talk about focusing on the future, because when you can start seeing something better, something to go towards, that's when you can start looking for better solutions. That's when you can start, really breaking things down from first principles, building out that paradigm and seeing that alcohol is never going to help you get to where you want to go. If anything, it is going to slow you down. It's going to make the process way more difficult. And you know what? For millions of people, alcohol is the one thing that gets in the way of them doing what they want. Think of all of the books out there that could have been written. Think of all the people that could have been speaking on stage, impacting the world. Think of all of the amazing children that could have been raised. Think of all of the amazing wives and husbands that could have had a flourishing relationship. But the one thing that stopped all of those, for all of those people, millions and millions of people, was alcohol. What I'm trying to say to you in this video is, the point is yeah, the pain is one thing. But if you're on your journey and you're trying to stop drinking, think about the future. Think about what it is that you really want. Start developing that vision. Start writing it down on paper and start going towards it with faith. Start believing that you can achieve what you want to achieve. And when you remove alcohol, that's when things start becoming more certain. That's when you can start creating a much better track record, one that you can look back at and say, I'm doing it. I'm making it happen. It is going in the right direction. I'm going towards what I really want, and alcohol does not fit into that equation. And that's exactly what I help people do. You know, I help them understand the pain of alcohol. I help them logically understand it, break it down from first principles. But as soon as we've come to that conclusion, as soon as we've seen alcohol as ethanol, as something that does nothing for them, it's next about the future. It's about focusing on a bigger vision, and it's about getting excited about what it is that you want from your life. Because life is an awesome thing when you're not drinking. It's a beautiful thing. It's a million times more enjoyable, a million times more satisfying. And that is why I love making these videos. It's why I love helping you guys, because I know that there are just so many people that are watching these videos that when they remove alcohol, that's when things are going to get exciting. That's when things are going to accelerate. That's when things are going to grow exponentially. You know, it's just going to be awesome. So really, don't just focus on the pain, focus on the future, build that vision, figure it out where you're going next, and then just go towards it. Step towards it with faith and just get rid of the alcohol. And if you want help doing that, head over to soberclear.com. Have a beautiful day. Thanks a lot.